Hi everyone, welcome to Yoga for Farmers and Ranchers. Of course, the dogs were sleeping fine until I wanted to do this, and now they're up. My name is Alexis Bonagowski. I hope you've enjoyed this series so far. If you haven't done any of my classes yet, I encourage you to go back and start at number 1, because today we're going to move and maybe do some more challenging exercises and poses, so we are just going to jump right into it. So I want you to take a comfortable seated position, either cross-legged like I am, or if this is not something that you're able to get into because of knees or hips or ankles, you can just sit on the edge of a couch or on the edge of a chair. You're going to bring your hands to your knees. I want you to sit up nice and tall, but don't strain too much. You just want to be in a comfortable position where you feel like you can lift up through your spine. Maybe move your head and neck around a bit. Just bringing your ear towards your shoulder and then dropping your chin down, and then your ear towards your other shoulder. Just a couple times here, feeling a stretch through the back of your neck. And maybe dropping your head back if that feels good. And then coming back to the center. So lifting up through your spine, we're going to start with a breathing exercise, moving our spine front to back. So take a deep breath in through your nose, and on your exhale, round your spine back, dropping your chin to your chest. And then inhale, lift your chest up, roll your shoulders back, use your knees to help pull your chest forward and maybe look back. And then exhale, round. Inhale, lift your chest up. Exhale, round. Inhale, lift. Exhale, round. Inhale, lift one more time. Open up your chest. And exhale, come back to your center. Shake out what you need to. All right, we're going to now laterally flex our spine and twist. So I just want to bring your right hand up to the side. Inhale your left arm up. Exhale, side bend. So in this position, we want to press down with our opposite sit bone. So you might push the floor in a little bit here. You lift up through your shoulder and armpit area, and make sure you don't dump forward. So just lift up through your rib cage. And then we're going to move into a twist. So you're going to come out of your side bend, bring your right hand to your left knee, left hand to the floor behind you. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale and twist. Come back to your center. Bring your left hand out to the side. Inhale your right arm up. Exhale, side bend. Press the floor away so that your opposite hip kind of presses into the floor. And go as far as you want. So just make sure you're not collapsing forward, that you're staying lifted and open. All right, we're going to come out of this, come into a twist. So bring your left hand to your right knee, right hand to the floor behind you. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale and twist. All right, come back to your center. Walk your hands forward over your legs. So if you're seated on a chair or on the edge of a couch, you can still round your body over your legs. Inhale, slowly walk your hands back. All right, we're gonna do a deeper back bend. You can do this on your chair, but you're just gonna do an upward dog feeling, so I'm gonna turn around. So you're still in your cross-legged seated position, bring your arms behind you. Notice how I have a little bend in my elbows. So this is an upward dog feeling, so you're really lifting up through the middle of your chest. Your shoulder blades are coming together. And now if you want more, what you're gonna do is you're gonna press your shins and knees into the ground and just lift your hips up, dropping your head back. Exhale, slowly come out. Okay, so just a reminder, we always start my classes with that spinal movement. So we do front to back, laterally, side to side, and twist. And then we do a little bit deeper forward bend and a little bit deeper backward bend. So that's just a good way to warm up your spine. All right, so from here, what we're gonna do is we're gonna come to our side. Just bring your head into your hand. Bend your bottom leg so that it's deeply bent and out in front of you. Straighten your right leg towards the bottom of your mat or wherever, however you are doing this. Bring your hand to your hip or to the floor. So we've done this one a couple times. Really starts to work on strengthening our side glute, our hip flexors, and bringing some mobility into our hip joint. This is really important, so don't want to miss this. We're going to bend our knee so that it's even with our hip joint. We want our knee to be directly in line with our hip. Your foot is flexed, that means your toes are coming towards your shin, kicking through your heel. From here, you're going to straighten your leg. Now we're pretty tight in the back here, so just do the best you can, and then sweep your leg back to its starting position. So that's our movement to begin with. We're just going to bend our knee, straighten our leg, sweep it back to the start. If this is your first time doing this with me, I encourage you to go back to the last two classes where we do it a little bit slower so that you can understand what the motion is and why we're doing it. So most of us, not just farmers and ranchers, but most people have pretty weak hip flexors and pretty weak side glutes, gluteus medius. So this is an exercise that really starts to help build strength around our pelvis. The stronger your hip flexors are and the stronger your side glute is, the less your lower back is going to take all of that pressure and weight from your day, and also you will balance better. Okay, so we're going to add to this. So next time your knee bends towards your chest, okay, I want you to anchor your heel. So your heel is going to stay in the air, but we want our heel to stay right where it's at. And I want you to see if you could open your knee. It's like a clamshell opening up. And you see how my heel stays down. And then you're going to close your knee. So we're externally rotating and then internally rotating. Then you're going to kick your leg out in front. You're going to lift it up and down. You're going to sweep your leg back to its start till you squeeze your butt cheek. Your leg comes up and down. So that's your movement. You bend your knee, anchor your heel, clamshell up and down. Straighten your leg, up, down. Sweep your leg back, up, down. Bend your knee, open, close. Straighten your leg, open, close. Back to the center. Okay, at your own pace. I like to take my time, especially with the clamshell, just to make sure that I'm recruiting the muscles I need to be recruiting. All right, you guys, the third part. You might be done, and that's okay. But if you're still with me, I want you to bend your knee towards your chest, hold it here. And I just want you to clamshell open and close. Open and close. Best you can. Burning maybe in your side glute here. Okay, straighten your leg, up and down. A lot of burning, hopefully, right here. Okay, sweep it back. Pulse up and down. Maybe you bring your leg just a little bit back so that you can feel it maybe a little bit more. Okay, we're gonna raise our leg about halfway up. Point your toes like you're gonna ring a doorbell, like your big toe is trying to ring a doorbell. So we want really straight, really strong, all of your power going through your foot. And now you're gonna lift about 6 inches higher. You're gonna flex your foot back towards your shin and little pulses, 1 inch. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Oh, okay. Now, if that was, you might want to rub it out here, just kind of like rub your muscle if it got really tense. But if you, at any point through that, felt like you needed to take a break, it's totally normal. We're going to switch sides. But I want you to try to do this a couple times a week because it's that important. Bringing your head into your hand, bend your bottom leg so that it's deeply bent and out in front of you so it helps you with your balance. Straighten your top leg. Flex your foot to start. Okay. Bend your knee towards your chest, but stop when it's even with your hip. We're not pulling our knee in towards our face. We're stopping when we have this straight line here. Okay. From here, we're just going to get this first motion down. You're going to straighten your leg, kicking through your heel. Sweep it back to its starting position. So bend your knee, straighten your leg, sweep it back. Bend your knee, straighten your leg, sweep it back. Bend your knee, straighten your leg, sweep it back. Okay, we're going to add to this. So next time your knee bends, again, we anchor our heel in the air. So it takes coordination. And we're going to open our knee like a clamshell. So just open till you feel the outside of your glutes engage. And then close. Straighten your leg. Pulse up, down. Sweep your leg back. Pulse up and down. Okay. You guys know the drill. Bend your knee, open like a clamshell, drop. Straighten your leg, lift up, down. Sweep your leg back, up, down. Okay. Now, as you do this, I want you to try to keep your pelvis stable so that you're not rocking around a lot here, trying to get more depth of your movement. We're trying to just move in our hip joint. Whoops, forgot. Sometimes we forget, that's okay. I've been doing this for a long time and I still, like, my side glute still burns. It never becomes, I would say, easy, but it becomes easier, and I just push myself a little bit more. Sometimes I use a band. So if you have one of those, you can get those bands at a sporting goods store, and you put those around your thighs if you want more tension. And that's going to give you, you know, it's a lot when you do it with a band, but you can. And sometimes I do, just to give myself a little bit more resistance. Okay, you guys, third part. If you're still with me, if nothing is cramped up yet, okay, we're gonna just open and close our knee here. Just really think about anchoring your foot. Of course, it's gonna move a little bit. This side is always harder for me, so I wanna put a little bit more effort into it. Okay, straighten your leg. See, I'm already starting. I can feel it. This one's gonna be challenging to get through. So just doing our best we can, straightening your leg, pulsing. Okay. All right, sweep your leg back to starting position, up and down. To take a little break here. Okay, we're gonna go up about halfway. Point your toes like you're trying to ring a doorbell. So all of that power is shooting out. And then you're gonna see if you can lift your leg up a little bit higher, which is not gonna be very high for me. And then you're gonna flex your foot back towards your shin and then see if you can just do little, like 1-inch pulses up and down for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Oh my gosh. Okay. I'm gonna just sit up here, stretch it out. So bring the soles of your feet together, let your knees open up wide. You can grab onto your feet. So this might be enough for you, just sitting here with your knees open. Like, I can really feel the stretch happening. Some of you might want to bring your upper body down a little bit to give your hips a little bit more stretch, but wherever you are, that's great. Maybe you want to add in a little twist by bringing a hand back, looking over your shoulder. Okay, you guys, so those were two really good ones to strengthen our side glutes, and now we're gonna work on our abdominal wall and our glute maximus. So I want you to come to your back on your mat and just bring your knees into your chest, wrapping your arms around your legs or holding onto your knees here. Maybe rock around a little bit, and those of you that want a deeper stretch, you can grab onto the outsides of your feet, opening your knees wide for happy baby. might drop your feet to the floor. Your feet are hip distance apart. Your feet are flat on the floor. Your heels are towards a little bit close to your glutes. And there's going to be an option to walk your feet out further. That's a little bit more challenging. So just start here to begin with. And so we're going to bring our arms by our side, your palms face down. So we're going to go through bridge lifts with different feet position. So as we do this, we're going to change where our feet are and how they're positioned. So just do the best you can. Bring your arms by your side. We're going to start with both feet flat on the floor. And when you're ready, inhale, lift, and squeeze your glutes. Stretch the front of your thighs. Your hip flexors get a little stretched out here. And then exhale, drop to the floor. So that's your motion to start with. Very simple. Inhale, lift, and squeeze. Exhale, and drop. Okay, now we're going to start changing our feet. So now I want you to see if you can come up onto your heels. So your toes are going to be lifted. You might need to scoot your feet a little bit further away from you here. All right, now we're going to come up onto our tiptoes. So I want you to, maybe your feet need to come in closer to your glutes, but you want to lift your heels up as high off the ground as you can. Keep inhale, lifting and squeezing, exhale and drop. All right, next thing we're going to do is we're going to keep one heel lifted and we're going to drop the other foot flat to the floor. So you have to like change positions a little bit. So keep your right heel lifted, your left foot is now flat on the floor. And continue to inhale, lift, and squeeze. Okay, we're going to switch now. So you're going to come up onto your left tiptoes and drop your right foot down and continue. All right, you guys, you're doing good. We're not done yet though, okay? Okay, you're gonna drop your left heel. You're gonna bring your heels to touch, your toes turn out like a V. So your toes turn out, your heels are touching. And now drop your hips to the floor, inhale, lift. Exhale, squeeze your knees together, open them up, and drop. So inhale, lift. Exhale, squeeze, open up, and drop. It's like you have a thigh master. It's like almost like you're squeezing something together, even though you're not. It's just the way your feet are positioned that makes it that challenging. So you're starting to get into your inner thighs here. All right, you guys, we're almost done. So inhale, lift your hips up. I want you to bring your heels back to a straight position, so heels are no longer touching, but they're straight. And then the last part, if you're still with me, is bridge marches. So you're going to switch your weight to your left foot, you're gonna bring your right knee in, drop, and then left knee in. Now I told you today was gonna be a little bit more challenging. So you might be, taking a break right now, and that's totally okay. But this is sort of this is our 6th class, and we're just building up so that if you do those previous classes and you focus on some of these exercises, at some point you will be able to put them all together and do them for a little bit longer. Okay, for 3, 2, 1, and release all the way down. Bring your knees to your chest. So give your lower back a little love here. Might be a little tender after that. Just rock around. All right, bring your feet back to the floor. Extend your left leg along the floor here. Bring your right knee in. Interlock your fingers around your right shin. Pull your knee out to your armpit, so out to the side. And just deep breathe into the compression in your hip. And then take a deep breath in. And on your exhale, bring your left hand to your right knee. And then bring your leg across your body for a spinal twist. Okay, coming back to your center, extend your right leg, bring your left knee in. Interlock your fingers around your left shin, pull your knee out to the side and then towards your armpit. Take a deep breath in, and on your exhale, right hand guides your left knee across your body for a twist. All right, coming back to your center. Okay, now we haven't done anything quite yet for our abdominal wall to target that. So we're gonna do a little work there, and this is a new exercise that we haven't done before. So I just want you to bring your knees over your hips and your shins parallel to the ground, your feet flexed. Bring your left arm out to the side, your palm faces down, bring your right hand behind your head. Okay, so how we're gonna start here is you're just gonna extend your legs and then bring your knees back. So extension and then knees back. Depending on your lower back, you might bring your legs more up and bend. If your lower back feels good, your legs are going to be a little bit closer to the ground. So I don't want you to hurt your lower back. So you just have to notice how it feels here. So this is our first step, is we're just extending our legs and bringing our knees in. You can just stay here and do this, or next time your knees come in, you bring your elbow to the opposite knee, and then extension and come down. I don't know if abs are anyone's favorites, but we have to do it. So you just have to kind of suck it up and be like, this is happening right now. And it's not going to be happening forever, but it's important. Okay, we're going to switch sides. We're going to try to keep moving our legs as we do it. Okay, so right arm out to the side, left hand behind your head. You can stay here, or left elbow, right knee. And remember, you just take breaks when you need to. You build up over time, even if it's just doing one more than you did the previous day. All right. Almost done for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Holding on your knees, take a deep breath in, slow breath out. All right, now we're gonna come to our left side again and warm up the side of our abdominal wall. So you're gonna be on your forearm, your shoulder is gonna be directly over your elbow. Now I want you to be on your butt cheek, so not your hip bone, but the fleshy part of your butt, and legs out. What happens to a lot of people is they tend to dump into their joint when we do this. So I just want you to kind of fall into your shoulder joint, just to know what that feels like. And then I want you to push away. So having a strong shoulder girdle, you know, the shoulder is an interesting joint. So there's a lot, you have to be very careful with your shoulders and not, you know, just because those of you have ever, well, I'm not gonna go there. Anyway, so I just want you to push the floor away and have a strong shoulder. And if you feel yourself start to dump, I want you to stop for a second and readjust yourself so that you're lifted up. Okay, so on your butt cheek, and then your hand behind your head, your legs together. Maybe you can have both legs hovering off the floor. If you need to drop your one leg down, that's okay, but maybe start and see if you can hold your legs together. So first thing we're gonna do is bring our right knee to right elbow and then straighten your leg. I can say it to you guys. What I was gonna say is, anyone who's ever butchered an animal, especially, you know, when you're taking the shoulder joint apart, how easily you can just cut and the shoulder joint comes apart. And so that's why we really want to have strong muscles and ligaments and tendons around our shoulder joint. And so if your shoulder is giving you pain, maybe one day we'll do a class just for your shoulders to see how we can strengthen the shoulder joint. Okay, so this is a lot for your hip flexors, and hopefully you can feel it in the side, your abdominal wall here. Okay, so now you have an option to bring both knees in. So both knees into your chest, right elbow to right knee. And you can still just do one leg. You work up to this over time and check in with your shoulder. Okay, that's a lot. Okay, bring your knees in, hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly come out, switch sides, come to the other side. So again, we're on our fleshy part of our butt. We're on our forearm, strong shoulder. Just dump down into your shoulder just to get a sense for what that feels like, and then push away. Legs together, legs hover if you can. If you need to drop the bottom leg down, that's totally fine. Left hand behind your head. Okay, when you're ready, left elbow to left knee and back. So you're exhaling your knee in, inhaling your leg long. Okay, those of you that want to challenge your coordination a little bit more, you have an option to bring in both knees. Trying to keep your legs hugged together. And I just felt I was dumping into my shoulder, so I corrected. Keeping your legs together is hard. Your inner thighs have to be engaged, so if you feel like your legs are separating, it's totally normal. It will come with time. But you have to keep doing it. Okay, we're gonna bring our knees in and hold. Hold, hold, hold as tight as you can for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Oh, nice job, you guys. That was a lot. We're moving quicker than we have in our last classes. This class, how I do it, the sequencing and what muscles we focus on is meant to help you age well and notice ways that you've sort of, your body has sort of adapted to injuries, and over time, how you might be compensating for an injury, and then you notice like you're doing something and you're like, well, this side's a lot harder. I need to strengthen my left side to help my right side out. Or the more we strengthen our glutes, our hip flexors, our abdominal wall, your back is going to start to feel, you know, barring like severe injuries and obviously medical conditions, you know, the stronger your muscles are around your pelvis, the more your lower back is going to have support instead of taking all of that weight and pressure and lifting by itself. So over time, hopefully as you get these muscles strengthened, you're going to start to feel a little bit better. And it's not inevitable that you lose strength, flexibility, and balance as you age. It's within your control to prevent that loss. So just remember that. All right, you guys, we're going to come to tabletop position on the floor. So shoulders over your wrists, hips over your knees. You can curl your toes under or just leave the tops of your feet flat on the floor. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, round your spine up to the ceiling. Maybe kind of wiggle a little bit, dropping your shoulders in and out. And then inhale, look up, shoulders roll away from your face, and then exhale, round. You guys know the drill here. Cat cow. All right, coming back to your center. So we're going to work a little bit more on our glute engagement. Now, sometimes our wrists, it doesn't feel good to be on our wrists as much. So if you have a couch or a chair, you can bring your upper body, you know, to your couch like this and do it. Isn't she cute? Isn't she such a good puppy sometimes? Sometimes she's not. You can do this on a chair too, so you don't have to be weighted on your wrists, but I'm going to do it on my wrists. Okay, so you're going to extend a leg back, flex your toes down, drop your toes to the floor, and then inhale, lift your heel. Okay, so important things here. I'm not lifting my leg very high. I don't need to. I'm trying to engage my glute muscle. If you find yourself doing this, that's not what we want. We want strong lower belly, pulling our front ribs in. All we're looking for is this, your glute maximus here, to lift your leg up. Your leg should be straight as we do this. I don't want to see, I wish I could see you, but if you feel like your lower back is dropping with your rib cage, you're trying to go too high. So I want you to pull your lower belly in. Okay, now we're going to lift our leg straight. And now you're going to imagine there's a tennis ball at your heel, and you're going to move your heel around the tennis ball, just in a little circle. With your glute. This is not coming from anywhere else. Okay, switch directions. Okay, good. Okay, now bend your knee about 45 degrees and then kick through your heel. So slight bend and kick. slight bend, and kick. And then pulse up for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, release. Okay, come into child's pose. So knees open, hips back to your heels, walk your hands forward, maybe relax your forehead down. All right, we got to do the other side. So come back to center. Extend your other leg back, so my left. Toes point down. Drop your toes to the floor. And then lift your heel up. Drop down, up. Notice how my leg isn't going high. It's going just above, just a little bit above my hips, because I'm trying to avoid the bending of your spine, because you want to just feel this in your glute maximus. Okay, your foot is flexed because that means your leg is engaged. If your foot is just hanging there, it doesn't engage the same way in your leg. So that's why I'm always bringing up your foot position. All right, you guys, legs straight back. Imagine you have a tennis ball and move your heel around the tennis ball. This is hard because it just takes some coordination and some mind-body connection, because we're like, oh, how do I do that small of a circle? And if you've never asked your body to do this before, it's going to feel very weird. And you might feel out of control. You might do it in a mirror and be like, wow, that is not what I thought I was doing. So it just takes some time and maybe a mirror to help your mind and body connect. Okay, guys, so bend your knee about 45 degrees and then kick through your heel. So slight bend, kick. Slight bend, kick. You can also come to your forearms too. Okay, now we're going to do our pulses. So leg back, pulse up, down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And release. Come to your child's pose. Toes together, hips back, arms forward. All right, everyone, slowly come out of your child's pose. Plant your hands in front of you, spread your fingers, curl your toes under, lift your hips up, downward dog. Maybe come up on your tiptoes a couple times, maybe pedal your feet. Try not to tense up your head, neck area. Remember, your knees can be bent in downward dog, so you can be here. This is good. All right, now walk your hands back to your feet, forward fold. All right, your feet are about hip distance apart. Bend your knees a little bit, so your knees as much as you need to. And then allow your arms to drape down, relax your head. Okay, now if this forward fold is not available to you, you're just gonna stay in a halfway lift. So your hands can be at your shins, your spine can be long. You're still gonna feel the stretch through the back of your legs. So whatever forward fold is available, and then inhale up, halfway lift. If you're already there, that's where you'll stay. Forward fold. Inhale, sweep your arms all the way up. Optional back bend, you can look up, watch your palms touch. Slight backward bend, and exhale, forward fold. Inhale up, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Optional back bend. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway up, one more time. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep your arms all the way up. Optional back bend. And exhale, hands to your heart. Okay, we were on the floor for a while there. Now we're gonna stand. I'm gonna move my camera so you can see me a bit better. Hopefully that works. All right, you guys, this class might go a little bit longer than an hour, but you can always rewatch the parts that you don't get to. I always find that an hour and a half is better than an hour, just gets to more things, but who has an hour and a half, really, you know? Okay, so for the last 5 classes, we've done kind of a sequence that helps you build your standing leg stability and balancing, and we're gonna kind of continue in that vein a little bit. So what I want you to do is to but we're gonna add to it. So we're gonna do similar things, but then at the end, we're gonna add some more balancing and hip work. So what I want you to do is just come to the top of your mat if you have one or wherever, and we're just gonna come into a chair pose. So just want you to drop your hips down, keep your chest lifted. Some people get like this, so I want you to just try to keep your chest lifted and bring your hands to your heart. Okay. Okay, so from here, we're going to shift our weight to our left leg and just lift your right heel up. So I'll do it from this side. So my heel's up and I'm just on my toes. So more of your weight is going to be in your left leg and your right toes are just there for balance. Okay, we're going to take a deep breath in. On our exhale, we're just going to twist to our right. And so some of you, if you can get a little bit lower, might anchor your elbow onto your knee. If that isn't available, that's okay. You can just keep your elbow lifted. This is actually maybe more work for your core because you're not kind of dumping down. All right, from here, we're going to come back to our center. Just want you to bring your right knee towards your chest. And I'm going to turn around because I'm going to show you what we're going to do next. So your right knee, I'm sorry, I'm in all black, so you can't, it's hard to see. So your knees towards your chest. Now we're going to try something a little bit harder. We're going to try to bring our right ankle above our left knee and then drop your knee. So this is figure 4. So you can see I made a numeric 4 with my legs. And then here, if you want to bring your hips down a little bit to find a stretch in your right hip, you can. Okay. From here, we're gonna try to pick our right foot back off our knee and then bring your knee back to your chest. Okay, now you're gonna straighten your right leg in front. Point your right toes. Sweep your right leg out to the side. Sweep your right leg behind you. Okay, one more time, bring your right knee to your chest. Straighten your leg. Point your right toes. Sweep your right leg out to the side. Back behind you. Now slowly, carefully float your toes down to the floor. Woo, okay, we did that twice. Usually we do that once. So you're in your high lunge position, back leg as straight as you can get it. Left leg is getting tired, I'm sure. Okay, so from here, we're gonna twist to our left. If you want to, take a deep breath in. On your exhale, bring your right elbow to the outside of your left knee. Okay, come back to your center. Bump your back foot in a step. Shift your weight forward. Lift your right leg up. Bring your right knee to meet your left. Right foot to meet your left. Back to your chair pose. Okay, we're not done. Okay, so I'm turning around so you can see me. You're gonna shift your weight into your right leg. So not the leg that was taking all, the tired leg. You're gonna do the opposite leg. So right leg. Lift your left knee up. So it's like this. Bring your fingertips behind your head. You're not turning with me, by the way, I'm just showing you. And then open your knee out to the side and close. Open and close. If you're like, oh my God, you got to do the first 5 classes to understand how we got here. Okay, now open your knee. Now, those of you that want to push this, bring your elbow down, your knee up. Okay, slowly come out. Bring your knee back in front. Hands to your heart. Pulse your knee up for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Woo, okay. Shake it out. Take a couple deep breaths. We're gonna change sides. That was a lot for our hip flexors, our balance, our standing leg, our leg that we're trying to build stability in. Okay, so I'm gonna switch. So when I turn, just know that I'm just turning so that you can see what I'm doing. I want you to continue to face the way you're facing. So I don't want you to be turning like I'm turning. So we're gonna do the opposite side here. So you're gonna start in your chair pose. You're going to lift your left heel up. So your heel comes up. So this starts our standing leg effort. So your right leg is now responsible for you for the rest of this sequence. And we put a lot of responsibility on it. So just try to trust it. Hands to your heart. You can stay here or take a deep breath in, and on your exhale, twist over to your left. And again, you can anchor, but it might be a little bit more work for your core to stay lifted. So I'm just gonna let you pick. We don't wanna collapse, right? Like a lot of people just kind of collapse and make their, make your legs do more of the work. But Sometimes it's fun to just go, what can my abdominal wall do? I'm sure you're like, yeah, that's a lot of fun, Alexis. Okay. Okay, come back to your center. Now I want you to bring your left knee towards your chest. Okay, from here, bring your left ankle above your right knee. So now we're in our figure 4 with our legs. You could do figure 4 standing, or you can begin to drop your hips a little bit lower just to see if you get a nice stretch through your left hip. Okay, now you're gonna pick your left ankle up off your knee and then left knee towards your chest, just like we were. Okay, straighten your left leg, point your left toes, sweep your leg out to the side, sweep your leg straight behind you. One more time, bring your knee to your chest, flex your foot, straighten your leg, point your toes, sweep your left leg out, straight behind you, drop your left hip down, very slowly, allow your left foot to come to the floor. Okay, your front leg is tired, that's okay. You're gonna have an option for a twist here. So take a deep breath in, exhale, twist to your right. Okay, back to your center, shift your weight forward, lift your left leg up. Bring your knees together. Bring your left foot to meet your right, chair pose. Okay, you guys stay facing whatever direction you are. I'm gonna turn around. Okay, now our right leg is tired, so we're gonna use our left to stand. So shift your weight to your left leg. Bring your right knee up in front of you. So we have a 90-degree angle there. Flex your right foot, bring your fingertips behind your head. Open your knee, and then close. So open and close. Okay, so we're hip flexors, side glute, inner thigh to close, abdominal wall stabilizing, side glute on this side helping you balance. Okay, now those of you that want to take it further and challenge yourself a little bit more, right elbow comes down, right knee comes up. Foot is flexed. And slowly release out. Right knee in front, hands to your heart. Pulse for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Okay, that was a good one. So if you've been doing this class with me, that sequence, we can take it anywhere we want. So the goal is to work on single leg stability and our balance and make our core muscles start to work together. So how I imagine it is like all of your muscles are on a team, and sometimes we rely on certain team members over others. And so we get like some of our muscles, like it might be your thighs, or it might be, whatever, like they get overly used, which leads to weakness in the other players. So the goal is that we strengthen all of the members of the team and that they start to work together in a way that benefits the entire system instead of just relying on the same muscles over and over again. So when you start doing this, you're going to notice that your hip flexors are like, they get tired quickly. So they might have been fatigued at the first 15 minutes of class. And that's because they tend to be pretty weak on everyone. And so as your hip flexors get stronger, then you can start to notice how that impacts the rest of your movement. So some days you might do this class and the next day you're like, oh God, my hips are tight. Don't mistake tightness. That feeling that you feel is tight is actually your muscles getting stronger. So I'm not saying your hips aren't tight, but I am saying that your hips are probably weak. So don't, like when you're the next day, if your like hip flexors are sore, that's, you know, we want them to be sore because we want them to be, you know, getting stronger. All right, you guys, I'm gonna go a little bit longer because that hour went really quickly. So stay with me if you would like to. We're gonna get back on the ground just to do a little bit of stretching. So we're gonna bring our right leg out, our left foot to our inner thigh. Couple things with stretching. In order to actually increase the muscle length, you have to do a stretch for minimum 20 seconds at a time. And minimum at least 5 minutes a week. So if you're like, God, I'm not, you know, I just noticed I'm stretching, you know, once a week. That's great if it feels good, but you have to do it at least 5 minutes a week and you break it up, you know. So just remember that. So your right leg is out, left foot is in, arms up, twist from your core and then fold over your leg. So hopefully this should feel good in your lower back. Don't overdo it, just find a point where you feel a nice stretch and then breathe. That's your only job, is to breathe. Remembering that your exhales are what relaxes your nervous system. All right, slowly come back up, switch your legs. So left leg out, right foot in. Inhale your arms up, twist from your core, and forward fold. All right, slowly come back up. Both legs out. Now, this can be hard for people with both legs out. Like a lot of people feel like they can't sit up and they have to kind of lean back. So you might just be at the point where you want your hands behind you and just kind of pressing, you know, bringing your upper body forward just with the help of your hands behind you, and then you stay here. Totally normal. And if you have like a rolled up blanket, you can sit on the blanket a little bit to lift your hips up higher so that you can come forward, but wherever you're at. So from here, you can walk your hands forward. I've had an injury in my inner leg here that prevents me from really going too deep into this. And so I just want you to remember that if you are stretching or doing anything else and you're like, that doesn't feel like I should be doing that, then don't do it. Yoga isn't just inherently safe, and I know a lot of this is like physical therapy and yoga and Pilates and different things, but you have to listen to your body and what it's ready for and where you're at. So don't push yourself past a point where you're like, oh, that's painful. But don't mistake pain for challenging either. Okay, now I just want you to walk your hands over to your right leg. And then walk your hands back over to your left. And then walk your hands back over to your right. And then walk your hands back over to your left. Okay, slowly come back up. Okay, so for the last part of this, I meant to do this earlier in this class, but I think it's really good for building up your abdominal wall and also working with our spinal motion. So I want you to bend your knees in front and your feet are flat on the floor. And then drop your shoulders back. So some of you, like over time as your abdominal wall strengthens, you're going to be able to drop your upper body back further. But just wherever you're at today is totally fine. So when you're in this position, it's like a boat position. I want you to bring your arms out in front and just grab onto opposite elbows. So dropping your shoulders back. And it's a very simple but maybe challenging motion. So keeping your chest open and lifted, you're just going to twist over to one side. And then come back to your center. And then twist over to the other. And then center. Okay, so this is all we're doing. We're just twisting and coming back, and your shoulders are back so that your abdominal wall is catching you from falling all the way back. Try to move with your breath, so you're inhaling to center, and then exhaling till you feel your abdominal wall contract as you twist. So center, twist. All right, back to your center, bring your arms out and slowly let your upper body come back all the way to the floor. Bend your knees, let your knees open, and then just sway your knees side to side like windshield wipers. All right, everyone, you can stay on your backs. Thank you guys so much for coming to practice with me these last 6 Sundays. I hope that they have helped with just kind of general knowledge of what's happening in our bodies and ways that you can help yourself strengthen the muscles you need to strengthen and the exercises that your body needs to learn how to put everything together. I've heard from some people, a lot of former apprentices through the new agrarian program, that this has been really beneficial. So if you are an apprentice or a former apprentice, thank you so much for joining me, and I love you guys. Let us know if this is something that you want to continue, what you need from Quivira, because we're always looking for ways to support you, producers, farmers, ranchers, apprentices, mentors, and everyone else that is part of our community. So let me know what you think, what you want, what you need, and I hope you guys all have a great rest of your Sunday, and I look forward to practicing with you soon. Namaste.